Welcome, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving, Thursday, November 24th, 2016. The happiest day of the year for most of us. It's football season. It's another week of the NFL, week 12. I'm getting ready to get underway in less than a half hour. I'm trying to get this video done early instead of waiting until Sunday because we have 3 games on tap. Even though I'm not picking any of the 3 games as my eliminator, the bottom line is we got to get the results and the analysis in the next 15, 20 minutes, and I know I'm the man. I can do it. My name is D-Generation Wayne Short, host of the Eliminator Sports Network here on the YouTube Network channel. Now, last week we took the Bears. We took the Giants. Freudian slip. The Giants over the Bears as my eliminator pick last week. They won by a score of 22-16. Congratulations to all those that still are in the poll with no losses, unlike me. Heading into week 12. Now it's going to get kind of dicey because a lot of the teams that you're trying to save until now, if you haven't used the Patriots list, they have a good matchup coming up. I think it's either week 13 or week 14 against the Rams. That's the week you're going to use the Patriots. So, with that being said, because I know I have like 3 or 4 good teams still in play. I think Seattle I haven't used yet. And there's a few other teams that are where they're supposed to be right now. So if you haven't used your good teams yet, now's the time to really start looking at your good teams. As you know, the rules of the Eliminator, last man standing, one and done, how you call it, survival, whatever call it. You take one team, you only to win each week, but you can't use that team again ever until next season. So my also rules that I usually follow is I don't pick division games because, as you can know, as a lot of people took Minnesota, Chicago, guess who won the game? The Bears. So it's just a lot of too much history and strange things happen in division game. Most of the times I try to stick with the home team unless there's a very good matchup like last week, Patriots 49ers. A lot of you took that, which now you can't use it for the Rams, but just saying. So, and of course, division games, like I said, I try to stay away from. Home teams, I try to, 99 and 2/3% of the time, I will go with, because they usually get extra 3 points, and usually they end up winning the game about 95% of the time. With that being said, let's go into week 12 of the National Football League. Okay, first game on tap is the 12:30 matchup, and I just read this on SportsCenter just a few minutes ago. This is the first Thanksgiving since 1935 where all of the games, everyone is over 500 that are playing today. So this is going to be the best 3 games of the year for right now. Okay, first up is the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Lions a 2.5-point favorite. As you know, it's a division game. Lions should win this one. They should easily cover the spread. And the Lions, if they get this, pretty much control their own destiny in the division because they've already beaten the Vikings in Minnesota in overtime when Matt Stafford took them down the field in like 28 seconds, got a game-time field goal. And then after that, in overtime, missed tackle, Golden Tate does a pirouette into the end zone. Lions win 22-16. I think the Lions will win this one. It'll probably come down to a late touchdown by Stafford. I'll go 23-20 Lions. They have a happy Thanksgiving. Next up is the game a lot of people's looking forward to. The Washington Redskins taking the team that beat the Ravens last week. I wish they lost to it. The Dallas Cowboys, 9-1 versus the Redskins. I think they're 6-3-1, something like that. I'm not really 100% sure. But I think they're 6-3-1. Now, first time they met week 2 at FedEx Field, at Landover. Dallas got their first of what is now a 9-game winning streak. Dak Prescott right now is legit. I was talking to a Cowboy fan on Facebook, a good friend of mine, and I told her, I said, listen, I saw this Dak Prescott guy against the Rams in preseason, and I knew he was the real deal then. It was just a matter of time. So all the teams that passed on him until the 4th round, the Cowboys got a steal. Maybe the league MVP, but I'm not going to go that far yet as long as Tom Brady is still in the league. But Dak Prescott is going to get a lot of run. And what makes it things with the Cowboys that I see with them, this team reminds me of a Cowboys team early 90s, 92, 93, and 95. The only difference is the defense of the early Cowboys, the 1993-95 boys, is better than this defense. That's the only thing right now. But you can take Dak Prescott, and what do you see? Troy Aikman. Ezekiel Elliott is a bigger version of Emmitt Smith, or a little bigger, a little taller than Emmitt Smith. And of course, Dez Bryant wears the same number as Michael Irvin. See the similarities. So they have the triplets in a younger form. And if you want to even throw in another, the tight end of the team was Jay Novacek, I think. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Novacek, Jason Witten. There's another similarity. And of course, they have I think their center is an all-pro, and they have Nate Newton, and that's another thing. They had a killer offensive line. 92, 93, 95, 16 Cowboys, killer offensive line. So the similarities are there for this team to, dare I say it, get to the Super Bowl. And of course, you can just gag me with a spoon if they do. But as far as today's game goes, Cowboys should win, but this is a rivalry game. And for the record, the Redskins are the team that the Cowboys have hosted the most on Thanksgiving. They're 6-1. So take that what you will. But the last time they played on Thanksgiving, and it was RG3 was the quarterback, and that was 12, that was in 2012. Redskins beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. So, as far as Thanksgiving streaks go, Redskins have won in a row, but the Cowboys have 6-1. But the Cowboys should win this game, probably by a score of 24-17. Cowboys offensive line will wear down the Redskins defensive line late in the fourth quarter like they did the Ravens. And they'll convert third downs after third down after third down for a first down like they did against the Ravens. So same story, different team. Just saying. And the other game tonight at 8:30, the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Indianapolis Colts. For us in Baltimore, this is like the worst matchup you could put together, and we have to root for one of them because we know about the Colts. They slept out in the middle like 32 years ago, but it still hurts. And of course, the Steelers are the Steelers. We hate them. So most of us in Baltimore will probably turn the TV off after the Redskin Cowboy game. Most of us, maybe me included. But dare I say we have to root for the Colts. It's almost like blasphemy for us. You know, it's blasphemy for us. We got to root for the Colts. Enough said. Yay, Colts, but Andrew Luck ain't playing, so probably the Steelers will win. But that means we got to take care of business against Cincinnati this Sunday, which I will talk about later. Because let's go to be honest, the AFC North right now is I'm not going to say the weakest division in football, but it's the surprisingly weakest division in football. Most years in the AFC North, you need at least 12 wins, at least 10, definitely 10, sometimes 11, and maybe 12 wins to win the division. I'm saying it right now. You only need 9 and maybe 8. So the next 6 games, whoever goes 4-2 between the Steelers and the Ravens will win the division. Enough said. Now let's get into Sunday's games. Tennessee Titans. They proved last week they were not ready for. They're taking on the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears. Tennessee a 3.5-point favorite. Jay Cutler allegedly is out for the season, but we're not sure. They say he may play Sunday. But Marcus Mariota is showing that he is the real deal. Unfortunately, against Indianapolis last week, they got off to a very slow start, was behind 3 touchdowns, 21-0 early. But yet, I got to give Tennessee Titans a lot of credit. They hung in there. They stayed with it. Even though they lost 24-17, they showed me something. They showed me the fact that they're not ready for prime time yet, but they're getting ready to take over the AFC South because they got some young guns in place with DeMarco Murray, Derrick Henry, and those boys, and especially Mariota doing what he's been doing. He's on 3 of my fantasy teams, so that's why I'm loving Mariota right now. So I think they'll take care of the Bears. It'll probably be like 16-13, low-scoring game. But as far as Eliminator pick go, I would stay away. You wouldn't want to take the Bears anyway. All right, here we go. Jacksonville Jaguars 6, and the Buffalo Bills. Bills 6.5-point favorite. I already used Buffalo this year, but if you haven't used Buffalo, this will be a good game probably to use them. 6.5-point favorite. They should win pretty comfortably. I'll say maybe a score and a half, like 10-point win, 24-14. Tyrod Taylor is proving that he can be an all-pro quarterback, former Raven. And Blake Bortles hasn't proved he can do anything at the quarterback position yet. It probably will be Gus Bradley's last year in Jacksonville. He'll probably will get sacked at the end of the year. He should have been sacked after that performance. I think they played against Tennessee on that Thursday night when they looked god awful. But as this game goes, as far as eliminator pick, if you haven't used the Bills yet, this will be a good time to use them. The game that I'm interested about and I care about, Cincinnati Bengals is a 4.5-point underdog against my Baltimore Ravens. The Bengals, the Ravens have lost to the Bengals, I think, the last 4 meetings. So they haven't beaten them since 12. If I'm going back correctly, I think I'm right. Either 13 or 12, because I know last year we got swept. That was 15. I think we got swept in 14 by them. I'm saying 13. I think we did win against it. I'm not 100% sure on that. But bottom line is, this is a game the Ravens better win. No Giovanni Bernard, out for the year, torn ACL. Or torn Achilles. I think it was torn ACL. AJ Green is not playing. Torn hamstring muscle. Allegedly, they say he may not be out for the year. Some say he is out for the year. But the bottom line, he's not playing against the Ravens this week. There's no excuses for the Ravens to lose this game at home. This is a must-win for the Ravens. Because your schedule, pretty much, your home games are Buffalo, Miami, and Philly. And your road games are, oh boy, New England and the 2 division games, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. You have to win 4 to win the division. This is one of the ones the Ravens better win. As far as eliminator pick, I'm going to stay away because the Ravens, you don't know which team is going to come out each week. You know the defense, even though they're technically the number 1 defense, not the 2000 Ravens number 1 defense, but I'll take the title for right now. But the defense, Sharice Wright, hopefully he will not see the field. Hopefully Jimmy Smith will come back, because I'll tell you what, Jimmy Smith, with Jimmy Smith, the Ravens are a number 1 defense. Without Jimmy Smith, the Ravens are a mid-level defense. We're just going to keep it real. So if Jimmy Smith plays, I am confident that the Ravens will win this game, probably by a score of 23-10. Andy Dalton struggling. Marvin Lewis, unfortunately, former Ravens defensive coordinator. This will be probably his last season in Cincinnati, and he'll get another head coaching job. He deserves that, but he doesn't need to be the coach of the Bengals no more. The voice has gotten old in the locker room, allegedly. Okay, coming up on the next 1 o'clock game on the schedule, the Battle of the Birds once again. Arizona Cardinals, Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are a 4.5-point favorite. This probably will be my eliminator game, but I take it back. I've already used the Falcons. Sorry, they lost to San Diego. Just saying, that's how this thing goes sometimes. But this will be a good time to use the Falcons. The Falcons are very competitive. They're still in first place in NFC South. Matt Ryan coming off a bye week. So as far as the Cardinals go, Carson Palmer is probably going to be done after this year. I mean, he has not looked good in the last few games. The Cardinals have been one of the more disappointing teams this year. And I'm going to say this, I know it may not mean much, but I think last year's loss and the way they've lost in the NFC Championship game has carried over into this season. The lingering effects are still there. They have not played good football. They've not played solid football. Carson Palmer has regressed. There may be some rumors Tony Romo may be coming there next year, but that's for next year. We're talking right now. Falcons should win. If you haven't used them, I suggest this would be a good time to use them. Okay, next up is on the 1 o'clock games, the New York Giants, 7.5-point favorites over the Cleveland Browns. If you haven't used the Giants Levis Eliminator, a lot of people is going to jump on this one as their eliminator this week. But you know how I feel about road games. Usually the home team finds the will to win, even in the worst situations. And Cleveland right now, the Giants need this game to stay in the playoff hunt. I do think the Giants will win. I don't think they'll blow them out the building. I think they'll probably beat them comfortably, like 28-17. There's some rumors that RG3 may be coming back. You know, he's on IR, designated to return. Just leave him out for the year and get it over with. You know, RG3, a lot of people say Mike Shanahan ruined his career. I totally agree, especially with that Haloti Ngata hit. He has never been right since Haloti Ngata hit him in D.C. when the Ravens played the Redskins in 2012. He ain't been right since. Next game up is the Rams and the Saints. Saints are the 6.5-point favorite over the Rams. I don't think I've used the Saints yet. this is, for me, this may be my game. The Rams have a stout defense. And I learned that when I picked the Jets against the Rams. So this is one of those games that you kind of go, it looks good, but the Rams defense, I think, is a top 10 D. They just don't have a top 10 offense. Maybe I think the offense is like 30th or something. Jared Goff will get his second start. Did okay in his debut. You know, the defense held up for like 55 minutes, and then the Dolphins, 2 touchdowns down the field, won the game 14-10. So I'm tempted to use the Saints. Tentatively, they are my eliminated pick, but that can be changed by the end of this video. So right now I'm going to go with the Saints, but I'm using it with caution. Okay, next up. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't see this one. The next one, the 49ers and the Dolphins. There's my eliminator pick. The Miami Dolphins, because I didn't use them against Cleveland, and even though a lot of people did, and Cleveland took them to overtime. The 49ers right now are just garbage. I mean, Kaepernick is playing okay, but the 49ers are just garbage. The Dolphins is my eliminator pick. 7.5-point favorite. I just got to feel it. I don't think they'll blow them out the building, but I think they will win very comfortably, like 24-10. All right, now up to the 4 o'clock games, we have the Seattle Seahawks against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Seattle's a 5.5-point favorite. Let me tell you something. This will come down to a field goal late. Because Tampa Bay, Jameis Winston is probably one of the top 5 quarterbacks right now. Jameis Winston has pretty much no weapons around him because of injury and ineffectiveness, and Tampa Bay is still a game out of the NFC South division lead. So, Seattle coming west to east again, playing Tampa. It's going to come late, and I'm going to say this. I think Tampa will pull the upset. 23-20, late field goal by a kicker, Roberto Aguayo, who, now, this is what was so crazy. Out of all the things that happened last week, of all the extra points missed, Roberto Aguayo was perfect. He was like 4 for 4, and I think he had like 13 points as far as fantasy numbers go, but he was 4 for 4 in field goals. Now, half the rest of the league is missing, and he's probably one of the least effective kickers in the league right now, and he went 4 for 4. Then you know it's opposite Sunday, as they used to say on the NFL QBs on Facebook page, which I definitely miss. I wish they bring that back. I need that laugh every now and then. All right, here's another one. If you haven't used the Patriots yet, I haven't, but they're on the road. It's a division game. You know I stay away from it. 7.5-point favorite over the Jets. This is the anniversary weekend of the world-famous butt fumble by Mark Sanchez. And Patriots should win. Gronkowski may not play to a punctured lung, ribs area, but New England shouldn't have no problem with the Jets. So move on. Panthers, Carolina Panthers, Oakland Raiders 3.5-point favorite over the Panthers. I think the Raiders will cover. Panthers still have Cam Newton. He won the MVP last year for a reason. So with that said, Raiders should win. Derek Carr is having an unbelievable season. Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree, who has found a home in Oakland on the east side of the Bay, used to be with San Francisco, which a lot of Raven fans remember. He was the receiver that allegedly was held by Ed Reed or one of the corners. I think it might have been Jimmy Smith, I'm not even sure, in that Super Bowl, allegedly. But there was no call. There was no hold. Ravens hoisted the Lombardi trophy. So Oakland is on their way back up. They will make the playoffs. They may win the division, but let's just be honest. The wild cards right now is coming out of the AFC West. Everybody else is playing for a division title because as long as Kansas City and Seattle and Denver keep winning, there's no shot for a wild card for anybody else who wants to get into the playoffs. So you must win your division. That's why for the Ravens, this matchup is so important. They beat Cincinnati. Raiders should win 24-20. They'll cover, late cover, sometimes maybe a backdoor cover. Sunday night game of the aforementioned Kansas City Chiefs, Denver Broncos. Broncos 3.5-point favorite. Trevor Simeon's playing okay ball. The Denver defense is starting to kind of get back rounded into shape. The Kansas City Chiefs, Alex Smith, with the shocking loss against Tampa, which no one saw coming. And I know some people probably even took the Chiefs in the Eliminator because they think, well, okay, Tampa, not really. Tampa played with a lot of heart. Kansas City made a couple of mistakes late, and Kansas City made a couple of mistakes late. Tampa took advantage of them, and Tampa went on to win. So, but as far as Eliminator, stay away. And I'm going to go, believe it or not, I got a gut feeling. I'm going to go with the Chiefs in an upset. Late field goal by, I can't think of his name. He's a kicker. Can't think of his name, but it'll come to me probably after I'm done. But late field goal by Kansas City, wins it late. I'll say like 20-17. Final game on the agenda is the Green Bay Packers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles at the Link. The Eagles are a 3.5-point favorite. And Carson Wentz has kind of sort of come back to earth a little bit. But he has no weapons around him. You know, and the Eagles are playing a lot better than people thought because of the rookie head coach, rookie quarterback situation. Green Bay is Aaron Rodgers and who's left? The receivers aren't as good. Jordy Nelson probably won't be at full strength until next year. I mean, back to the Jordy Nelson we all knew. Jordy Nelson's kind of having an off year coming off the torn ACL. But they still have Aaron Rodgers. Eagles win, but they won't cover. I just think that it'll be like 21-20. Maybe a late miss field goal. Oh, then again, they have Mason Crosby. So 21-20, Eagles will win. Eagles will hold on to win and keep abreast in the very tight NFC East, where all the teams right now are over 500, I think, except for the Eagles. I know they're in last place. But I think the Eagles will get the win on Monday night. It's a huge game for both teams. But I think the Eagles will get the win. And as far as the NFC North goes, pretty much the winner of today's game between the Vikings and the Lions will control their destiny of winning the NFC North. That's all the time we got for this week. We hope that you survive and advance to week 13. Until then, have a happy and blessed Thanksgiving. Peace and God bless.